What up, Bars Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Dropping Bars podcast. My name is Kimron Korean, and today on the pod, I have with me Mr. Kevin Schmidt. Kevin, welcome to Dropping Bars.
Hey, good morning, Cameron. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. So let's just jump right in. Why don't you tell the Bars Nation who is Kevin Schmidt?
Well, I get asked that question a lot just because I feel like some people claim that I've achieved some sort of star status locally here in Grenada. But honestly, I'm just your ordinary, average, everyday guy. I'm a single dad. I work hard. And, I just kind of fell in love with Grenada, and that's what keeps bringing me back. Again, nothing special about me. It's just the love of the culture and country that has allowed me to meet a lot of people here and start a lot of my own initiatives here in the country.
Okay, great. So you said that it's the love of the people, the culture that keeps bringing you back. So bringing you back from where?
I actually live in the U.S. I live near Washington, D.C. I've lived in a few states in the U.S. and I've settled in Virginia. So that's where me and my kids live.
Okay, so you live in the U.S. Now, what was your first encounter with Grenada that said to you, no, like this, I need to, I like that created that bond that said to you, no, this place, I love this place, I need to keep coming back to this place. What was that experience, that first experience like?
So it could be a very long story, but I'll try to summarize. I actually fell in love with the Caribbean back in 1995. I was in the U.S. Marine Corps, and I went to Trinidad, and I lived in Trinidad for a short period to build a preschool and community center. And that's actually where I fell in love with, the food, the music. I mean, the steel pan, the calypso. I mean, it grabbed a hold of me, right? The rum, all those good vibes. So it was actually later on in that year that I met one of my lifelong best friends who was actually from Grenada. So it was 1995. I met my friend, and then through the years, I visited all kinds of different Caribbean countries, and I feel like just nothing compared to Grenada. And since so over the last probably half decade, and that I've been trying to come back a couple times a year. I think in 2019, before the pandemic, I was here 3 times, and I just, like I said, I can't get enough. I keep coming back. The island is beautiful. The people return the love tenfold,
Right.
and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, because I mean, I was seeing like people posting about you, like I mean, before the pod we spoke about Mexi, Trisha, and I saw like Kimmy and other people posting about you, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever met Kevin, but it seems as though he's a big deal within the Grenadian community, so that's fantastic. So I mean, appreciate you, and I'm glad that the people are showing you the love that you are also showing to the country. Great. So, Kevin, you spoke about some initiatives that you partake in Grenada whenever you're on the island. Can you talk to me about what are some of those initiatives?
Yeah, so Kimron, everybody knows that things can be a little tough here. So what I like to do is, I have a lot of Facebook friends from Grenada, and what I do is look for often people that maybe need a little help or support getting their own businesses started, whether it's advice or materials, things like that. I look for those that have the drive and desire to become successful, and I try to kind of lend a hand where I can, and that could come in many different ways. But those are the types of initiatives. There's no specific, collaboration with any sort of, charity or anything like that. It's really on a personal level.
Right, and I think that's important because, like we know, entrepreneurship is a driver of any economy, and and small businesses sometimes are the ones that really need the kind of support that someone like yourself can provide. So I'm really happy that you're pretty much helping to guide and provide that level of support to some of our small businesses in Grenada. That's really great. Now, one of the big things that happened this year is you had a massive birthday celebration, and I mean when I looked at the reviews on Facebook, and I looked at some of the videos from some of the people that were there, some of the lives, and so on and so forth. I saw there was like a almost like a throne on stage. It was fantastic. So why don't you tell me about that? Why did you choose, like, to have that such a big celebration, um and it's your birthday celebration in Grenada? I mean, I know in the beginning you said that you love Grenada and everything. You currently live in the US, so talk to me about the whole idea behind deciding, hey, I'm gonna come to Grenada, I'm gonna have this big celebration, and so.
Yeah, so again, amazing event. I mean, Kimmy Jenkins Productions worked miracles to put that thing together. I think there was maybe 4 months of planning that went into that. And if you saw the artist lineup and that the event was supposed to be live streamed so that everybody can enjoy a nice show. That didn't actually end up happening, but we did have a videographer there that the expression is, we're making a movie, and that's exactly what's happening right now. The video's in editing, and it'll be published at some point, and there'll be a nice show that everybody can watch. But one of the important aspects before I get into how it came about was that if we were going to have a party, I wanted to do it so that it was all inclusive, that
Yeah.
everybody could come. Listen, we were deep into carnival season. August 5th is my birthday. That was a Saturday. It's the last weekend before we get into carnival weekend with Soca Monarch and all the shows and eventually carnival. So people are broke. People don't, they've already bought their costumes and tickets and everything else. So I said, let's do something free that everybody can come and enjoy themselves, regardless of whether they had a dollar in their pocket or not. And that was kind of my only conditions that I set forward for Kimmy Jenkins Productions, was that, because I don't typically celebrate my birthday. That's not a big holiday to me, Kimron. But but
Okay.
but I had several people that wanted to celebrate. So I said, okay, if we're going to do it, let's do it right. So it actually started out as a smaller event. And I said, no, I said, Kimmy, you've got a lot more in you. I said, we can do more with this. I said, I got dozens of small businesses involved. There were so many contributors on this. For 2 days, I toured around the island with a good friend of mine, sourcing fresh fruits and vegetables from all the farmers in 5 different parishes. I mean, a lot of time and effort went into putting this thing together by a lot of people. And I'm just so grateful that people wanted to step up and do this. It was something major that a lot of people don't realize how much work went in behind the scenes, because Kimmy Jenkins Productions is not it's not a waggy tea. They don't have
Right.
the kind of resources and that to do this. So we reached out to the people, and the people, they stepped up, they showed up, and they showed out. I'm telling you, it was amazing to see what came together.
No, that's really great, and shout out to Kimmy and Kimmy Jenkins Productions for putting together that such a major event. So how was the event like on the night itself, when you saw everything coming together, like all the artists was coming out? I mean, I saw the clip when Mexi actually went and performed, and I mean, before he started, he did a really nice tribute to you. Like what was that emotion like, just watching everything come together on the night?
Yeah, that was amazing. Mexi and Trisha are some of my oldest friends here, and I really appreciated that, and I wanted to give Mexi and Trisha both their flowers. I did a dedication for Trisha and her representing the country in the International Elegant Mothers pageant. We paid tribute. I had little. Uh, uh, Mr. Grenada, Prince Jaden St. John. We had
Mm-hmm.
Little Miss Grenada, Princess Jayla McMillan. So when we talk about the music, we had a few reggae and dance hall artists, and we also, did soca. Obviously, it's carnival season; it's
Well,
all
yeah,
about the soca. But again, just to highlight that this was supposed to celebrate the culture in general, all aspects. It wasn't just about playing, having artists get up there with the soca. We Tamara Songbird sang "Happy Birthday" to me and performed, and that was very special to me. So
yeah.
yeah, and about the night itself. Listen, Kimron, I had several people come to me and say, you know what, your VIP was better than Mr. Killis.
Wow.
That's the kind of level of effort and attention to detail that Kimmy put into this thing, and it was simply amazing. It was gorgeous. So I can't speak highly enough. I could keep going on and on, but I think you got the point now that it was for something that was only 4 months in the making. It came together and was absolutely amazing.
Do you see do you see this being like a yearly thing, or maybe it was just this one time?
Yeah, well, so it's a great question because I've been asked it many, many times, and the fact
Mm,
is that I think we'd love to do this on an annual basis. But there's a lot of time, energy, and money that goes into this, and to put that burden onto the people and the contributors and things like that again now. But even somebody like Dally Sewing Services that put together some 100 made 150 rags to be waved in the air.
mm, wow.
um, I wanted to make sure that everybody got their flowers and everybody got promoted, whether it was a public thank you on Facebook or, things like that. These people are putting their time and energy and money out front to make all those little details happen. So I don't feel like it's fair to do that.
Right. Gotcha.
If there was some sort of fundraising or sponsorship that we could develop year round, then absolutely I'd love to do that. But when to do it like we did it over the past 4 or 5 months, that that would take a lot. It really would. So
Okay.
I'm not saying it's out of the cards. I'm just saying right now we don't have a plan to do it on an annual basis.
Okay. Gotcha. Got you. And well, just looking at the production of that event this year, I think it's fair to say that Kimmy Jenkins' production, we should be seeing really great things coming from her her and her company in the future. Maybe at the level of like some of the big production people like the Waggities and so very soon, right? Because I think she did a fantastic job. So shout out to Kimmy Jenkins and Kimmy Jenkins production. So Kevin, tell me, moving away a little bit from like the events and so on and so forth. Now, as you've had a long a successful life. You've been coming to Grenada, been giving back. What would you say is, and that could be whether it's from parents or from somebody you've worked with. What would you say is the best advice you've received over the years that you can
So
share?
yeah, so when we were young, I grew up very poor. I grew up in conditions not too different from the folks here in Grenada. I grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere, and pretty isolated and that. But my parents always used to try to get us out on a vacation, and we'd take a driving vacation. Back then you couldn't afford to fly and things like that, but what that did was it instilled the travel bug, right?
Mm,
So even in the U.S., if you travel from one place to another, you're going to see different types of cultures, I guess. Different people and just different food and things like that. And when I joined the military, that actually started my international traveling. And when I found out that how different things were in other parts of the world, I was just fascinated, right? So one of the things that I tried to do for my children is also travel with them. And here in Grenada, I don't find it. too unusual, but because it's similar in the U.S., people just don't really get out and explore their own country, explore their island. You know, when I come, I rent a car. I want to move. I want to go visit all the different places and that, and all the different parishes and whatever else. You know, so I wouldn't say it was advice. I think it was just a matter of experiencing life from different aspects and not staying in your own little corner, right? And that's how we grow to learn about different things and different aspects and develop, you know, different opinions and realize that the world is so much larger than us. And that's the advice that I have for anybody is regardless of whether you have money or not, you can go out and meet new people and experience new things. Because for me, life is not about buying stuff or accumulating material things. For me, life is about experiences. And I don't want to have any regrets thinking, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I totally get what you're saying because I remember when I traveled for the first time. Well, not the first time because the first time was within the region, but the first time I traveled outside of the region to like a really big city, that was Mexico City. And when I landed there, just being there and just looking around, I realized, wow, like I felt like I had just discovered like this whole new world that was out there that I've never experienced before. Just looking at the buildings, for instance, you know, like those skyscrapers and so in the city, and I'm like, wow. And I remember like just without even doing anything, just landing there, my whole view of the world and of my life just started expanding like so yeah, so I totally agree with you on that, and even just like when you said, you know, just going out there and meeting people and just connecting with people. I know that has worked wonders for me. You know, sometimes I've been in situations where I'm like, nah, I don't feel like doing anything today or going out and meet with these people. And I remember one time I almost canceled something, an event, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. I went and I did it. I met some people, business people, and so on and so forth. And then about a month later, somebody from that event called me with a contract offer to do some work. And I'm like, wow, if I did not go, I would not have had that opportunity. So I totally agree with you on that. And Kevin, so before we wrap up, let me just ask you this, and kind of like and similar to the what I just asked. I know you said that you've mentored, like, you know, small businesses, provide some support in any way, in any way you can, like, you know, trying to help them in any capacity whenever you're in Grenada. Um, if is there any business advice that you can share now with the small businesses that are looking on, maybe something that, you know, people don't normally pay attention to but that they should, like anything, like what can you say to all small businesses in Grenada and in the Caribbean on a whole?
Yeah, so it's a great question because there's some prominent things that I see regularly, right? One is the ones that I see as being successful are ones that are providing good customer service, that
Mm,
smile, good communications, prompt and timely delivery of their product, and you know, putting a satisfaction guarantee on stuff. You know, if you get into other parts of the world, you know, the aspect of customer service is viewed a lot differently than here. I mean, you know, I'm not saying it's good, bad, or whatever. I'm saying it's different. So bringing a higher level of customer service here can do wonders for your business because people really appreciate that smile, that thank you, that gratitude from the business owner themselves to say, hey, come back and see me again. And that's where businesses become successful, is when you have repeat customers. And that would be the first and foremost thing that I would tell small businesses here is you really got to step up your customer service game to keep people coming back for more.
right, that's so important because I think that that's one of the things that I hear and see people on social media complain about the most. I believe that any company that can really get customer service right is that can be their superpower, and that can be the competitive advantage, because a lot of people get it wrong so many times. Okay, so fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm gonna ask you one more question, Kevin, to try to
All right.
throw you for a loop. See if I can confuse you a bit. I don't think I can, but here's it. If you found the fountain of youth, would you drink?
You know what? I would. And because I just feel like at this stage of my life, listen, I just turned 51. I need that
Right.
fountain of youth, right? I, fe- I literally feel like I should be in my 20s. I mean, I'm finding now, and I'm not, some may call it a midlife crisis or whatever the case is, but the fact is, I feel like there's just so much more to do and experience and things like that. I wouldn't hesitate to drink, Kimron. I'm telling you, because I am right now. I'm experiencing life on a different level. My kids are grown now. I spent most of my adult life raising children, and now I'm to the point where I can start doing the things that I want to do, that and I can start dedicating my time to other things, other people, and other areas that also fill my heart, just like maybe raising my kids. And I found Grenada where I have an outlet for that, and I'm looking forward to someday actually building a home here. So
Lovely. Fantastic. I've had mixed responses to these questions on the podcast. Some people are saying, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not drinking." Some people are saying, "Yes, I'm definitely drinking." So, thank you for sharing your perspective on that. Bars Nation, we were talking with Mr. Kevin Schmidt. Kevin, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Shout out to Kimmy for making this happen. And Bars Nation, thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Dropping Bars podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share wherever you consume your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you consume your podcast. Just ensure that you look for Dropping Bars with Kimron Corey and leave a review and share with somebody that can benefit from this. So thank you again, Bars Nation, for tuning in. And Kevin, thank you so much for being here.
thank you, Kimron. I appreciate your time, and I hope I've inspired someone. And again, I look forward to the next time I'm back.
Fantastic. So thank you so much, and Bars Nation, I will see you next week.